Hello, welcome to this really short video update for Human Services 226, Issues and Diversity. And everybody should be working on and towards lesson number 5, which includes readings on racial identity in terms of we will be taking a historical view of how racial categories and this thought process of race, and if it is actually a process in reality, has taken place through generations and in recent history and so forth. The concept of race and racism in general has changed over time. Lesson 5 is due October the 5th, and Lesson 6 will have a due date of October the 15th. It's on ability equity. That means how do we sort people in educational settings and other settings into groups? Should we sort individuals based on academic ability, physical ability, and so forth, and place like individuals in shared groups? And how ethical that is and unethical those approaches are. And we use again the school systems and educational setting as a framework to begin those discussions. I do enjoy reading everybody's discussion forums, discussion posts, and your journals. Remember, the discussion board posts are public, and the journals only you and I can see. I do make an attempt to respond to as many journals as I can. I do read everybody's journals. And please take the opportunity to dig deep into our material and your thinking, and try to apply what we're reading and thinking to your own perceptions and circumstances and ways of looking at life. That doesn't mean that you have to agree. You can disagree. Just develop your thoughts of agreement or disagreement. When we look at material such as this, especially material that we may have not been exposed to in the past in a formal way, we need to be able to do certain things. We need to be able to think about what we're reading and make inferences in terms of what it means. We need to actually be able to talk about it, be able to talk about what you've read, talk about the meanings, talk about the pros and cons, and be able to have a enlightful, meaningful conversation with another person. We also need to take action in terms of what does it mean for you. And in this case, for these topics, are there ways that you can see the world differently? Are there different ways of communicating with others not like us? And so forth. It's really important. This can be one of those classes that you just read the material and let it be. But it can also be one of those courses that you read the material, process it, talk about it, learn from other people, learn from each other, and it can stick with you for a while and be actually meaningful, I believe, for a long, long, long time. And that's truly the purpose of education. The purpose of education is to, if you're the same person you were when you entered a particular college as you are when you leave, I'm not sure that person really received an education. You may have received just credits on a transcript or a piece of paper, but did it really make you and encourage you to be a better person, to be a better professional? What is the purpose of education? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. If the purpose of education is to grow, that's a great, great goal. If the purpose of education is only for a piece of paper, then we have to, I think we need to reevaluate that and ask ourselves, can there be more? Because education is extremely important. So I encourage you to participate as fully as you can in those discussion boards and those journals as much as you can. The semester will go much more smoothly and will be much more interesting as much as you can putting into our courses and all of your courses as much as you can, and saving what you cannot and leaving behind what you cannot use. A couple of odds and ends. Our course paper, the reflective paper, your draft, your first draft, meaning a draft as good as you can get it, is to be submitted to Smart Thinking by October the 23rd. If you have problems submitting your paper to Smart Thinking, please let me know, and I will try to alleviate any problems you have. There's also a method for that you can submit your paper to Smart Thinking through Blackboard. I would try to activate that process today inside of the reflective assignment paper. That's your first goal. What will happen is when you submit your paper to Smart Thinking, it needs to be as complete as possible. Submit your paper to Smart Thinking. By October 23rd, they will provide you with suggestions, with proofreading of your paper, ways you can improve upon your paper. I need you to take those comments and make improvements and changes to your paper based on those Smart Thinking comments. Then you will send me by November 6th your draft that includes all those comments. So when you submit on November 6th, you should be submitting your modified draft that includes any Smart Thinking suggestions, modifications, those type of things, and the actual Smart Thinking report. You will be uploading both of those items to me. What will happen is I will take a look at your submission, make my own comments and suggestions, and provide words of encouragement or other questions of concern, send those back to you. And our final draft, your very final draft, after you include all of my suggested changes, is due November 26th. So this is intended to be a process of where we work on a paper and we continually develop it. For the first effort is to write your paper, send it to Smart Thinking, and get an outsider's view on your writing, and to receive points of improvement. Then you will submit your next version to me, which includes the Smart Thinking suggestions. So I can make suggestions on your paper. I will return those back to you, and you send me the final copy by November 26th. If you have questions or concerns about how to do this appropriately, please let me know so I can help you with the process. Do not wait until the last minute to try to write this paper. It will become very obvious to the Smart Thinking readers and to myself, for example. I can usually tell with pretty high level of accuracy after teaching for 14 years now when a student wrote the paper the day before the start date. This should take you a couple of weeks to put together, working on this sporadically, and a good 10 to 12 hours, I would think, to have a paper ready for Smart Thinking. I'll be happy to talk with folks individually, in person, via phone, video conference, or so forth, to help you with this process. Other odds and ends, I will be leaving the office after today, and I will not be returning until after October the 14th. So if you need me in the meantime, please send me an email, and I will return your message and help you with the questions you have as soon as I can. I have one trip to Richmond I have to attend next week, then another trip on a couple of personal issues I have to take care of later into the week. So email will be the best option in the meantime. This video is running a bit too long, so please contact me and I'll be happy to help. Hope you are enjoying the readings. Take care.